Making headlines this hour. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz officially inaugurates Islamic University of Maldives IUM's Sanabil building. The Ministry of Defense says that Turkey will donate a Dogan-class fast attack craft to the Maldives. And Foreign Minister Dr. Khalil meets with several counterparts on the sidelines of the 4th edition of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Idham Naeem. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz officially inaugurates the commencement of construction of Islamic University of Maldives IUM's Sanabil building. At the ceremony held at the construction site in Hurumale on Saturday evening, President Dr. Muiz poured the first concrete to signify the start of the building works. The IUM Sanabil project aims to ensure a sustainable source of income for the university while leasing out the upcoming 7-story mixed-use complex. The building will feature office spaces, meeting rooms, auditoriums, a food court and commercial parking spaces. The first of its kind IUM Sanabil project was launched for subscription as a Sukuk Istisna facility on 11th August 2024. Bank of Maldives BML Islamic was the sole subscriber when the deadline came to a close. The construction is expected to be completed within 18 months. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shaheen Ali Saeed hails the project to develop IUM's Sanabil building as a pivotal achievement in President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's efforts to advance Waqf initiatives outlined in the government's manifesto. He cited that the initiative will assist in further developing the nation's Islamic finance sector.
In a statement shared on social media, Islamic Minister Shaheen congratulated President Dr. Muiz and underscored the significance of the project. He highlighted that the Sanabil building, once stalled due to funding challenges, was now progressing under the administration's focused leadership. Expressing satisfaction, the minister credited the project's revival to the financial support facilitated by Bank of Maldives BML Islamic and applauded its partnership with IUM. The Sanabil project represents a groundbreaking approach to funding educational infrastructure in the country. It is the first endeavor in the nation to utilize the Sukuk Islamic bond for such purposes. Offered for subscription in the Maldives capital market starting 11th of August 2024, the Sukuk garnered the commitment from BML Islamic, which became the sole subscriber by the end of the 1-month subscription period. The project commenced in July 2019 with the official registration of land in Hurumale for the IUM Waqf building. An agreement with the contractor was subsequently formalized on the 22nd of August 2024. Designed as a 7-story structure, the building is set to redefine educational infrastructure in its first development phase. Detailed architectural plans reveal that the Sanabil building will serve multiple purposes. It will house office spaces, a food court, meeting rooms, an auditorium, and commercial parking facilities. The project, which is expected to be completed within 18 months, reflects an integrated vision for academic and community engagement. President Dr. Muiz officiated the inauguration ceremony in Hurumale, an event that underscored the significance of this milestone for both the community and the broader Islamic financial ecosystem.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil met with several of his counterparts on the sidelines of the 4th edition of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum. In a series of productive engagements, Dr. Khalil met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Gambia to discuss ways to strengthen bilateral relations and enhance cooperation at multilateral platforms. He then held talks with the Angolan Foreign Minister, focusing on expanding both bilateral and multilateral cooperation. In his meeting with the Foreign Minister of Ghana, the two ministers explored collaboration in climate resilience, sustainable tourism and trade. Dr. Khalil also met with his Azerbaijani counterpart, where discussions centered on recent bilateral consultations and enhancing economic ties between the two countries. On Friday, Minister Dr. Khalil also held meetings with the foreign ministers of Hungary and Turkey. As part of his participation at the forum, Dr. Khalil spoke at a panel discussion titled Geostrategic Dynamics in the Asia-Pacific. The University of Leeds has extended its support to the Maldives through offering opportunities to train Maldivian athletes for the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. In an interview with PSM News, Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation Abdullah Rafiu said his recent visit to the UK opened new avenues for the development of football as well as other sports in the Maldives. He noted that discussions with relevant sports associations would follow.
During his visit to the UK, the minister met with the Mayor of Leeds and the Mayor of West Yorkshire. The meeting, which was attended by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, focused on enhancing the development of Maldivian athletes. Both mayors assured him their full support for providing training opportunities to the Maldives, the minister said. The minister also held detailed discussions with officials from the University of Leeds, including regarding technical assistance in areas such as sports medicine. He said both sides emphasized the importance of sports physiotherapy, sports psychology, and sports nutrition. The minister said he also explored the opportunities available for Maldivians to train in these areas through Leeds University as well as training conditioning coaches. According to the minister, Leeds University intends to provide substantial assistance to these areas. The minister expressed confidence in the university's capacity to provide support through its various faculties and expressed his hope that training opportunities will be made available as an outcome of the discussions. The minister has previously stated that initiating partnerships in the right way can create more opportunities, especially for football and other sports in the Maldives.
The Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works has highlighted that discussions at the ongoing Rabbahinge Salla Forum in Ukulas Alif et al. Focus on strengthening civic engagement and reaffirming the government's commitment to decentralized governance. The three-day forum, featuring 55 participants, including council presidents, members and secretaries general, underscores the vital role of civil society organizations in supporting local governance. Key topics to be discussed during the forum include strategies to increase public participation, involve marginalized groups, and promote transparency through improved communications and access to information. The ministry emphasized that empowering local councils, especially through financial autonomy, is central to President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's decentralization agenda. Participants are also exploring ways to enhance collaboration between councils and citizens through consultative, inclusive approaches. Opening the forum, Cities Minister Adam Sharif Umar praised the contributions of local councils in advancing decentralization and building public trust in local institutions, describing their efforts as vital to the nation's progress. The Ministry of Defense says that Turkey will donate the TCG Vulcan P343, a Dogon-class fast attack craft, to the Maldives as part of a bilateral agreement aimed at strengthening the island nation's maritime defense infrastructure. The ministry, in a statement, hailed the donation as part of the positive outcome of dialogue with friendly nations to achieve President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's vision to double the surveillance and response capacity of the Maldives National Defense Force, MNDF. A special team of MNDF personnel is currently undergoing training in Turkey in preparation for the operation of the vessel, the ministry said, adding that the newly acquired vessel will be a major boost to its capability to maintain safety and security of the country's territory and the special economic zone. TCG Vulcan P343 was commissioned into the Turkish Navy in May 1981 and reclassified in 2024 as a test and training vessel. The Dogan class, designed by German shipbuilder Larsen Werft, marked a significant leap in Turkey's naval capabilities in the late 20th century, especially as the first class equipped with Harpoon anti-ship missiles. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shaheen Ali Saeed announces that the Zakat Fund scholarships will open this week as the Maldives Zakat House collected $6.48 million in property zakat for 2024. This achievement marks the highest amount ever received in the nation's history and reflects the generosity of the Maldivian people and the government's strengthened efforts to bolster the zakat system. According to the ministry, this remarkable growth is driving the expansion of crucial initiatives, including scholarships for higher education and support for vital medical specializations.
As the ministry prepares to open applications for Zakat-funded scholarships this week, Minister Shaheen stated that the scholarships will provide opportunities for master's and doctoral degree PhD studies across key fields of Islamic knowledge. The minister also revealed that high-achieving Maldivian students currently pursuing Islamic studies independently in countries like Egypt and Saudi Arabia will receive financial assistance through the fund. The impact of the Zakat Fund extends beyond fostering Islamic scholarship. Minister Shaheen noted that through the Fi Sabilillah section, or charity given for the sake of Almighty Allah, the fund will address critical shortages in specialist areas, particularly in the medical field, including super specializations. Highlighting the significance of this milestone, Minister Shaheen credited the charitable contributions of the people for driving the Zakat Fund's growth, which he described as a victory for Islam. He added that resources would also be directed towards projects dedicated to spreading the knowledge of the Holy Quran and producing more hafizes. In addition to supporting education and Islamic initiatives, the Zakat Fund continues to assist the poor and needy through its Al-Fuqara wa Al-Masakin section, providing essential aid for medical treatments such as kidney transplants, bone marrow transplants, and care for individuals battling major illnesses like lung disease and cancer. Minister Shaheen lauded President Dr. Mohammad Muizz's role in strengthening the Maldivian zakat system, which has yielded significant results. The ministry reported that more than $2.20 million has been collected as zakat during the first quarter of 2025 alone. This year also saw the highest ever collection of Zakat al-Fitr, which was distributed equitably among the poor nationwide.
Maldives national airline Maldivian has annulled its initial call for proposals and issued a new announcement to lease a second wide-body aircraft. The airline introduced its first wide-body aircraft, an Airbus A330-200 with 264 seats, on January 6th this year, fulfilling a key pledge by President Dr. Mohammad Muizz. The aircraft is currently in operation with direct flights launched to 3 Chinese cities, Beijing, Shanghai and Chengdu. To expand its international network, Maldivian is now seeking to lease a second Airbus A330-200 for a 5-year period. According to an airline official, the new announcement aims to attract additional interested parties beyond those who responded to the original call in February. The deadline for proposal submissions is April 26th, as stated by Island Aviation Services Limited (IASL), Maldivian's parent company. Chairman of Indian generic drug maker Wockhardt Habil Khorkiwala says that any imposition of tariffs on pharma products by the US would be counterproductive for the Americans.
The United States accounts for a third of India's overall pharma exports. India's pharma exports to the U.S. mostly comprise generics or cheaper versions of popular drugs. These currently attract almost no U.S. levies, while India imposes about 10% tax on U.S. pharma imports, according to industry experts. Indian drug makers have been on a wait-and-watch mode and also raised concerns on the difficulty in setting up manufacturing in the U.S., a move that would increase their costs.
Two Israeli missiles hit a building inside a main Gaza hospital, destroying the emergency and reception department and damaging other structures.
Health officials at the Al-Ahli Arab Baptist Hospital evacuated the patients from the building after one person said he received a call from someone who identified himself with the Israeli security shortly before the attack took place. No casualties were reported, according to the Civil Emergency Service. Israel made no comment on the strike. In its statement, the Hamas-run government media office condemned the attack as a heinous and filthy crime, saying that Israel deliberately destroyed and rendered out of service 34 hospitals as part of a systemic plan to dismantle what remains of the healthcare sector in the Gaza Strip.
Israeli forces completes the encirclement of Gaza's Rafah as part of an announced plan to seize more areas of the enclave, accompanied by large-scale forced displacement of the population.
Footage released by the Israeli army along with the statement purported to show a brigade of troops marching past rubble and entering devastated empty buildings in Rafah. The Israeli military has issued repeated displacement orders to hundreds of thousands of Palestinians across Rafah since it resumed genocidal operations in Gaza on March 18, forcing them into a diminishing space limited by the sea. Israel said on April 2nd that troops had begun seizing an area it called the Morag Axis, a reference to a former illegal Israeli settlement once located between the cities of Rafah and Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have since fled Rafah, a 60-square-kilometer area that borders Egypt to the south.
South African veteran Jody Smith took his first World Surf League WSL Championship Tour victory in 8 years at the Surf City El Salvador Pro, while Hawaiian powerhouse Gabriela Bryan carved her way to the win in the women's event.
The 37-year-old Smith, who joined the tour in 2008, excelled as the waves improved for the final 2 days of competition and comfortably beat Matthew McGillivray in an all-South African final. He dedicated the win to his wife and to his father, who shapes his surfboards. Smith got off to a strong start in the final with a 7.33 out of 10 for his first wave and backed it up with a 6.93 late in the contest for a two-wave total of 14.26 out of 20. McGillivray, who took down the two previous event champions en route to the final, couldn't find the waves he needed in these somewhat inconsistent conditions and ended with a heat score of 9.33. Bryan, a standout throughout the event with her powerful carves, looked in trouble in the final against Australia's Isabella Nichols. Trailing midway through the heat after a series of uncharacteristic falls, Bryan realized she had buckled her board and called for a replacement. The next wave was her best of the final, a 7.83 out of 10 for a series of heavy turns that gave her the lead that she never relinquished. The win lifts Bryan to number 2 in the women's world rankings, with Smith jumping to number 5 overall on the men's side. With 4 events of the 11-stop tour now complete, the surfers head to Australia for 3 events before the number of competitors is cut by a third. The top 5 surfers at the end of the regular season will then compete in a one-day winner-takes-all finals day in Fiji.
Japan's World Expo 2025 in Osaka opened its doors to the public for the first time, drawing large crowds eager to experience what the 6-month World Exposition has to offer.
Running until October, Expo 2025 will showcase cutting-edge innovations in technology, sustainability, and international collaboration. With the theme, Designing Future Society for Our Lives, the event aims to bring together over 160 nations to address pressing global challenges and co-create a better future for all. Retiree Yoshifumi Kawaguchi, echoing the Expo's message for global unity, expressed concern of the current U.S. president's international relation policies creating divide and havoc for unity across the world. He noted that Trump is making waves around the world right now, so it's unclear what the future holds. Yoshifumi said that he would love for Trump to visit the Expo once and realize that we are one world and that we all need to get along. The public opening was preceded by a ribbon-cutting ceremony attended by Japanese Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry Yoji Muto and Japanese Defense Minister Gen Nakatani.
That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.